good, YouTube? Slender Evolution X here, coming to you guys today with a new Neos deck profile of my own. I know I've had a lot of requests to see it, so I figured I'd give you guys the January 2015 Air Neos OTK deck profile that I built myself. So let's dive into it, guys. Alright guys, so without further ado, let's dive into the deck profile. Start off with the monsters. You have 3 Elemental Hero Prisma, 3 Elemental Hero Bubbleman. Bubbleman I have in there at 3 because if you can't get the Air Neos OTK off, Bubble Beat is another way to do it, and it's really efficient. So, and he's searchable. So, 2 Elemental Hero Neos, obviously needed. I like him at 2, not at 1. I think you can use him better at 2 rather than 1. We're going to go into your 3 Neospatians that I run. Hummingbird, Grand Mole, and Aqua Dolphin. I don't feel the need for multiples of each because I think that you siphon through your deck pretty quickly and you don't have an issue with getting them to the graveyard. 1 Pathfinder. I still run the Neospace variant. I like it better. And a new addition to the deck, Honest. I wanted to try Honest out, mainly because it can steal games, especially if people don't know you're running it. It turns out very well. So that's it for the monsters. On the spells, we have 3 Miracle Contact, 3 Miracle Fusion. They're your win conditions. You need to be able to get to them. I bumped 3 Hero Lives. I bumped this up from 2 to 3 because you want to open with this card, especially if you're going second. I mean, it pretty much just starts everything off. And since it's at 3, why not take advantage of it? 3 Upstart Goblin. I cut Duality because in the game today, you're generally not lasting more than 4 or 5 turns between Burning Abyss and Cleaports. You're not seeing a lot of time, so cutting the Duality allowed me to keep that special summon, and I moved Upstart Goblin up to 3 just to, you know, cycle through the deck, make it a 47 card or 37 card deck rather than a 40 card deck. The Double Convert Contact, arguably one of the best draw cards in the game. I'm sticking with it at 2. I don't see it at 3. I don't want dead cards in my hand. So if you open up with this, it turns into a pretty good place. The Double Neospace, I like this a whole lot, just because if you don't open up with an OTK or you go first, you can still get a Stratos with a 2200 beat, or not a Stratos, a Prisma with a 2200 attack because of that 500 boost if you send Neos. The Double Emergency Call, I don't like it at 3 because I don't like dead cards in my hand. I understand it supports the Bubble Beat, but I just like 2 better because I'd rather have the other spell cards in there. And I'd have to take something out to put in a 3rd one, which I don't want to do. Alright, on to the 1-ofs. 1 MST. The only reason I'm at 1 with this is because I hate opening up with 2 MST, especially in this deck, because there's so many other cards in here that are more effective when trying to win games rather than MST. But I still think that it's good at 1. It still gets, because generally, you know, you're not nowadays going up against a deck where they're going to set 5 pass. So if I'm going second, 1 generally can get rid of the problem card in the back row. 1 Snatch Steal. Came off the ban list, and I think it needs to be played for a reason. It can literally steal games, so I like having it in there. 1 Reinforcements. I like it at 1. I was thinking about bumping up to 2, but I think 1's pretty sound. The only reason I like go 2 over this rather than 3 and 1 for E-Call is this can search Aqua Dolphin, so if you have a Convert Contact in hand, this allows you to grab that. 1 Wrath of Neos. Another new card that I added to the deck. Generally, I think it's a little slow, but in grind games, it's pretty good. Along with, I mean, if it was just destroy monsters or just destroy spell and traps, I wouldn't like it as much. But the fact that it's an entire field destruction, and even afterwards, you still have Miracle Fusions and Miracle Contacts that you can still run, especially since you can use him with Prisma. So, pretty good. The 1 Forbidden Lance, like I said, it's essentially the same theory that I have with the Mystical Space Typhoon, whereas I'm probably not going to be going against too many back rows, so if I draw this early, it's good. But I also don't want to draw 2 of these early because it's just not effective. Okay, and last but not least, 1 Flash Fusion. With the loss of Super Poly, I wanted to replace it with something that can quick play do things. And with the release of Snatch Steal off the ban list, you know, this becomes a decently effective card. And allows for more OTKs with the Omni Heroes. So if you end up pushing with like an Air Neos and an Excalibur and it doesn't get through, you can still go Shining, get that extra push, or anything like that. I understand they die at the end phase, but it's actually pretty good, especially when you can, if you had like a Bubbleman and an Aqua Dolphin or a Prisma and a Bubble Man or any combination of that, when you can go on your opponent's turn into Absolute Zero and he dies at the end phase, destroying their field, that's a pretty cool play. Pretty nifty. So that's it for the spells. On to traps. I'm sticking with the same trap lineup. 2 7 tools and the 1 Solemn Warning. 7 tools is really good against Fire Lake, and it costs you that 1,000, which helps you a lot in this game. The only reason I haven't replaced these with the 3 MSTs, with 2 more MSTs to pump it up to 3, is if you don't get the OTK off first turn, or you go first, this is a really good way to set up for next turn, and you don't get hurt by Fire Lake or things like that. So, really like 7 tools, and I think Solemn is just a generally good card. Especially this format when, you know, a lot of times you have trouble getting rid of big monsters. I think that's a pretty good setup. So that's it for the main deck. We're going to go into the extra deck, and it's pretty standard. 2 Rare Neos, Grand Neos, Aqua Neos, Storm Neos. Not as good as Storm Neos used to be, but I still really like it. And since I'm running the Neospatians that I am, it's still viable. On to the Omni Heroes, Double Shining, because Miracle Fusion is still a thing. The 1 Ab-Zero, the 1 Gaia, the 1 Tornado, the 1 Nova Master, Escurado, and then for my Exceeds, I run generally the same ones that I have been for a long time, because I think they get the job done very well. You have the Excalibur, the Blade Armor Ninja, and the Mace Stroke. A lot of people question why I'm still running all the Omni Heroes with, you know, without Super Poly being a thing, but they still are there for Miracle Fusion. Like I have a lot of different types in this deck. So things like Great Tornado that don't see a lot of play nowadays because it's not a thing. It's still an option for me, and I don't want to have a Miracle Fusion that can win me a game and not have the monster be able to fusion into. So that's my justification on keeping them. Obviously, if I took them out, I'd probably replace them with some more level 4 Exceeds since they're still really good right now. Like maybe like an Honor Arc or Exciting Knight, things like that. But for right now, I think this is doing a pretty good job, this format. And the format is fresh, so we'll learn more as we go on. I'm not going to show you guys an extra deck because I'm not like as confident with it right now. Maybe in the next deck profile that I do in a couple weeks, I'll give you an extra deck or a side deck because it's tough early format, especially with a pack being released this weekend, to give you a definite answer on the side deck. So I'm going to keep it as this for right now. If you guys like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you have anything to comment or add, leave it in the comment section below. And as always, guys, remember to subscribe to join the revolution today. This is Slender Revolution X signing out, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.